Let's go. Let's go.
Victory!
Victory music being played. Welcome to the Celtics live post-game show. Cheers to the Celtics dub. Celtics took care of business tonight against the Magic. I'm going on a few hours now of streaming. If you didn't know, I was just live for the entire Celtics game right here on this channel with the Celtics watch party. So shout out to everyone that tuned in for that. But also shout out to you guys that are tuning in now for the post-game show. But the watch party was super fun. That being said, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this stream. And if you want to donate and support me, !donate in the chat, and you can do that. Obviously, it's not required. I don't expect it, but, you know, it's the cream of the cake that I would really appreciate, I guess. But shout out to the Celtics for taking this dub. In the watch party, as we were talking about it, I was saying, okay, you know what? The way this was going, the Celtics didn't look like they were playing that well, whatnot, so on and so forth. Like, the Magic were cut it to 8 or 6 at one point. Celtics ended up winning by a bunch of points. A bunch of points. Final score being 132-96. They did their job. There's going to be people out there that say, hey, the Celtics, oh, it's the Magic, it doesn't matter. I said it live. You guys saw the thought process if you tuned in during the watch party. I said, if this game isn't a double-digit win, then I'm going to feel bad about it. They got to go smoke the Magic. They smoked the Magic. All right? Tatum went off. Kemba went off. Peyton Pritchard had a good game. So we got all that to talk about tonight on the Celtics Live postgame show. Shout out to everyone for tuning in tonight, especially if you tune into both the watch party and you're tuning in tonight. But I've been holding this beer for far too long. Let me take a damn sip. Let's talk about this win. Let's get into the box score. You know what? I liked what we did last time. Let's start with the player of the game. Kemba Walker. There was a lot of talk in the postgame about, who's going to be player of the game. Tatum absolutely went off at one point. Went off. Started the game slow. I really do think Kemba Walker, you know, in his comeback game here, deserves player of the game. I could see why people would want it to be Tatum, but Kemba Walker, 32 points, 4 assists. You know, I think this is an easy Kemba Walker. 61% from the field, 67% from 3. It's an easy, in my opinion, Kemba Walker player of the game. So shout out to Kemba in his return. But let's get to some of this box score here. See if I can make this a little bigger for you boys and girls. Evan Fournier, 18 points. He played really well in his return to Orlando there. Jason Tatum, 27 points, 45% from the field, 33% from 3. Those were all so much worse prior to him going off. After that Mo Bamba block, Jason Tatum said, you know what? Let's turn it on. I don't like being disrespected. And that's exactly what he did. He had 27. We talked about Kemba. Peyton Pritchard with a sneaky 5 of 8 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3, 14-point night from him. And I want to flip over to the Magic side of things. 2 20-point scores. Dwayne Bacon and our very own, even though he was here for a hot second, Mo Wagner going for 20. Mo Bamba going for 19 and 15 and 18 and 10 from RJ Hampton. Whew. He was balling a little bit tonight too. But again, the Celtics ended up taking the big-time dub. When I say big time, it's not a big game they won, but this win was huge. You guys heard the victory music, but let's get to some of the chat here. People tuning in. Michael saying he is here. First time was in the stream and had so much fun. Hey, shout out to you for tuning in to, I guess, your second one, even though it's a few minutes later. But I do appreciate everyone that, I guess, found the channel through the watch party and now has, the marquee event, the thing we've cornered our audience on, is this post-game show. So shout out to you for coming back. Ubi, kind of right in line with what I said, right, Ubi? I'm glad we won. Saying, here come the I'm glad we won, but not happy how we won, people, even though we won by 30. Now, what I will say, if I want to split this up, obviously the Celtics looked bad at times during that game, but I don't know how you can look at that and say, okay, you know what? This is what I wanted the Celtics to do against the Magic. Here's the final score. Here are the two best players that played tonight. Both scored 27 and 29, or 32 points. I don't know if it's that negative of a night. Now, if they had only won this game by 8 or 5 or some crap like that, I think we would have some credence to be a little frustrated. But you won this game by, 38 points? 36 points, if I have my math right? Like, come on. Gear saying victory. Donovan saying that taco moment was beautiful. It was. Let's see if we can pull that up. I'll work on that as we keep going here. I know we viewed it. I know we looked at that taco moment within the watch party there. How many times have I said watch party so far? But let's see if I can find that taco fall moment. Because that step through anything is I honestly, I know I'm over exaggerating what that moment was, but I haven't seen Taco look so good. Damn. Math is back. Donovan saying Kemba's getting red hot for the playoffs. Let's hope so. Let's absolutely hope so. See, this is a clear one. I know we had our issues with the quality. This is still a clear one, and it's blurry for me. But this is what we got here. All right, Taco Fall, end of the game. Game's over, but he's got Mo Bamba on him. This is him right here. With the ball, short corner, couple dribbles, through the legs, crossing him up, hesitation, backs him down, up and under. Oh, got him on his feet, step through, finger roll. Taco Fall, looking good out there. Love to see it. I love to see it. I know we got a lot of taco chat in the chat, I guess. Taco chat in the chat all the time. But Kemba is getting red hot. Now, he was red hot. Donovan, this actually, now that I say it out loud, can we say Kemba's getting red hot when he's missed a few games in a row? I don't know. But Phil says Taco needs more minutes. Movie says I missed that. Yeah, hey, we'll do it more and more. That watch party, we'll do more and more. It was fun. I'm clearly a newbie to it. Like I gave a little play-by-play. We were chatting with the chat. I'm just being me in there, and you guys seem to like it. But we'll do more and more of that. Matt saying that was good for Kemba. It was like his high-energy practice. He will be good to go for Friday. Yeah, for sure. And speaking of Friday, I think we're going to have another person on the stream with me post-game. My buddy Kev. If you guys listen to my podcast, Unleashed, he was on a couple episodes ago. I've known him for like near 20 years. So he'll be on, I think, unless he cancels or whatever, he'll be on the stream with me, which would be pretty cool. Gear says Tatum going in takeover mode was great to see. It was like, so here's the thing with Tatum too. And we talked about it, but I'm going to talk about it again for everyone that didn't hear that. Tatum, I always have the feeling that he's got the skill to make those incredible shots or the Kobe shots, the MJ shots, any of those shots, he's got the skill. He doesn't always bring to the table, however, he doesn't always bring the killer instinct that we want him to have. He's shown it. He has. 100%. He's shown it before. But he doesn't have the mentality of a killer more often than not. Like, he's still a young guy. He still, wants to make the shot, but doesn't want to make it over the guy in front of him. If you're still with me here. But when Mo Bamba blocked him and then talked his smack on the way down, after that, Jason Tatum said, okay, buddy, turn around. Let me see your name and number because I'm not sure who you are. I am the reigning Eastern Conference Player of the Week. I don't know if you heard about me. I'm tied for the all-time franchise high in one game for points scored with, what's that guy's name? Larry Bird. What records do you hold? Again, turn around. Bamba, number 5. So he turned it on. Mo Bamba disrespected him, and then Jason Tatum said, no. Hey, good block, but that ain't going to happen. And he went off. Like, I don't know how many points he scored after that, but it was crazy. We saw dead eye, red eye, whatever it is. We saw that Tatum come out, and it was crazy. Phil saying Celtics need to win out to get to that number 5 seed. Yeah, what's the check-in? If we look in on the Hawks, Hawks are up 8 with 7 minutes left against the Suns. Definitely need that, Phoenix win, which is shocking that the Hawks are going to beat them. Phoenix is a really good team this year. That is a bummer. That's a bummer. But again, so if we do this, let me flash to the standings now. I know we did this a couple times already tonight, but let's stick with it. So ready? If we look at these standings, this is the issue for me. It's not necessarily, the 7 and the 6. Like, I don't want to fall to either the 8th seed, and I don't want to stay in the 7th seed. 6, 5, 4, I'd be okay with. You don't want to play the Bucks of the 6th seed. I get that. But where things are shaking out to right now, you're a half game behind 6. You're a game and a half behind 5, and you're 3 games behind. Like, that isn't. You need all 4 and 5 of the Knicks and the Hawks just to lose every game, and you win every game for you to really have a chance there. So this is the ideal. 4-5, toss up. I don't really care if it's 4 or 5, but this 6 seed would be really, really big in my mind because then you're looking at playing the Bucks instead of the Nets. And the Bucks look good. They've beat the Nets, but I still don't think, and I've said this in the watch party tonight, I don't think people have seen the complete sort of Nets team that we should be possibly afraid of. All those guys healthy, all those guys want to win. I think we got some big troubles on our hand. But who knows? Maybe all of a sudden you play the Nets and it's a good news. But in my mind, you want that 6th seed. The 5th and the 4th, sadly, and it's sad, but sadly it looks like it could be kind of slightly out of reach. But hey, got to keep looking for it. Fighter saying we have 40 people in the watch party, but now 10. Yeah, people didn't want to talk about the win over the Magic. Hey, I understand it. Hey, the watch party went successful, but maybe it cannibalized the audience of the post game. Fighter saying standings aren't updated yet on Google. C's currently at the 6th seed. There we go. So that's good. Perfect. Boom. Look at that. You ask and you shall be granted. So I like that. Okay, then if we're tied for 6th or 6th, then there we go. Because would you guys agree that 5th and 4th, like they're like more out of reach than I think people want to admit, to be honest. You know, it's like okay, I'd love for that 4th and 5th seed to be the reality, but I don't know if it's gonna be. Phil saying Celtics need to win out to get the 5 seed. Yeah, we read that. Raisin saying go Suns. Hawks are up 8. We made through the 3rd. Ubi saying I think we are tied with the 6th. Raisin saying Google standings aren't updated. Guys, I get it. But and we have the advantage according to Fighter here because we beat the Heat. So that's good news. But guys, if you are watching, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel too. Even though it wasn't the this is not the right word, but juiciest of games, we still got a few things to talk about here. 1. If the Celtics were to lose that game, it was the season. So I'm not going to go I'm not going to go and call this like a must-win game, but at this point, the way the Celtics have been playing, whenever they play a bad team, and this is a bad team, like a sheep, bad team. Whenever they play a team like this, it almost is a must-win. It's not a must-win, it's a should-win game. But we've seen them lose these games a couple times now, and that's where it's still, to this day, I get, like, if they play the Magic tomorrow night, I'm still kind of like, oh boy, I hope they win this one. Like, I'm just not fully confident in this team. But if they were to lose this game, all hell's breaking loose because the season's already, in some people's minds, chalked away. It's done. They're not winning anything this year. If they go and lose to the Magic, do you know how bad that would have been? So luckily that didn't happen. That was like one of the biggest, like, someone early on in the watch party was asking, hey, like, what's a key to the game? Win big, which the Celtics did. Like, if they only won that game by 8 points, we'll give it, right? If they win that game by 8 points, then we're looking at a game that it's like, okay, you know what? A win, it helps in the standings. You tie for 6th place. But everyone's walking back to that locker room. Every fan is turning off the TV and tuning into the Celtics Live postgame, hosted by yours truly, thinking, yikes, like we just beat Cole Anthony and Mo Bamba by 8 points, 10 points, whatever. So I don't think it should go under the radar as to how good it was to see this team, with all the injuries they had, go and wreck a team like the Magic, even though it seemed close at times. Like, that speaks to this team's sort of potential, I guess. And maybe I'm getting a little exaggerated here. Maybe I'm, I don't know, hyping this team up too much or reading too much into it. But the fact that they went out and took care of business like they should speaks a lot to me. Wongy's asking how many minutes did Jason Tatum actually play. He ended up playing 30 minutes and 52 seconds. So managed well. Kemba only played 28. We'll flash this up right now so you guys can just see the minutes. The guy that led the way was Tatum, so he still played more minutes than everyone. But, because of that blowout, they were able to save some minutes here. Guys, how much do I love this? In a blowout game where you won by almost 40, Mr. only played 8 minutes. Is Brad Stevens finally starting to realize that that's how it should be? Even in a blowout game, this guy does not need genuine, legitimate minutes. Maybe, especially with Nesmith kind of playing well, Pritchard playing well. I mean, you start to lose, like Grant Williams, I get it. He's a big man. Both those names I mentioned, he's bigger than, but does he really play big man minutes? Like, he tries to cover big men, and he doesn't. But either way, I guess I just saw that Raisin over to say something else. Raisin goes, that's still 8 too many minutes for Grant. Another womp womp. That's a good point. But I just love seeing the fact that, like, Carson Edwards played 1 minute less than Grant. You know what I mean? Taco Fall played 2.5 minutes less than Grant. Mongy says, watch Grant get crunch time minutes in the playoffs. Grant could get crunch time minutes in the playoffs for all we know, because that's what Brad does. He hasn't played in, 3 games now, but all of a sudden in the playoffs, like he's going to be the secret weapon against Giannis. How many times? What's the record for amount of womp womps we've played in 5-minute span? Moon is saying Tatum's nice, but he still needs some Paul Pierce and KG style intensity. Yeah, and I just said that like 2 seconds ago too. The way I explain it is, and we'll use Kobe as an example. I'm not saying mentality-wise or skill Tatum's even there yet, but use him as an example because Tatum clearly views him as a mentor and whatnot. Jason Tatum has the skill, not at that level, but he has the skill of hitting the step back, hitting the contested shot, driving by a guy, dunking. He has all that skill. And he wants to take those shots in big-time moments. And he has the feeling that I can make any shot. But what he doesn't have, and talking about Pierce, talking about KG, talking about Kobe, and I think MJ was brought up earlier too, what he doesn't have is he knows he can make that shot, but more than just making the shot, he wants to make the shot because that guy's covering him. He wants to make the shot and then look that guy in the eye and pretty much without talking say, I just made that in your mouth, dude. Like the more of the mano-y-mano, me over you, I made that shot. Tatum can make any shot. But does he have the sort of like, screw you in the shot, like the game within the game? I don't know yet. When Mo Bamba blocked him and then he finally turned it on, it did sort of have a, hey, here's my rebuttal, buddy. You ready for it? It had that vibe to it. Movie says Grant Williams equals the Giannis stopper. Okay, I mean, I didn't know. I thought it was Cinco de Mayo, not opposite day. Fighter saying, I said this earlier, but why does Jabari go from being a decent part of the rotation to 0 minutes? Happened with happened with Aaron Nesmith earlier in the year too, right? Why does a guy, and you put that perfectly, decent part, wasn't balling. Actually, Jabari Parker had a couple games where he was sort of balling in terms of getting a buyout guy and getting that contribution. But why does, all of a sudden this guy's in the rotation and then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, literally not playing. Like in a blowout game, he plays 80 minutes. And the answer to that is just Brad Stevens. Like it sounds weird, but that's what it is. This guy, his rotations are always out of wonk. And for some reason, whatever it is, like, okay, little side route here, right? Detour. Aaron Nesmith months ago was starting to play well. Simple as that. Starting to play well. Then all of a sudden, Brad Stevens yanks him to the rotation. You guys remember what I'm talking about? Yanks him out of the rotation. And everyone's like, what the heck? Why is that happening? Oh, maybe he started to stink. Like, whatever. Like, why'd they get rid of Aaron Nesmith? Now, a couple months later, Aaron Nesmith is actually playing really, really well. Actually, the best he's played all year. So why'd you cut out that part of him, playing to say, okay, sit on the bench now, you're not playing anymore? All of a sudden, now he's playing well months later. You missed an opportunity for him to grow even more and more, and he could be even better now. Are you following that timeline? Like, Aaron Nesmith is a black and white truth to Brad Stevens sort of mismanaged that rotation for a month there. Because he was playing well, sat for no reason at all. Like, he literally didn't. People were like, what, did he bang Brad Stevens' wife? Like, why is Aaron Nesmith not playing? And now he's playing well again, so then what was the void in between? Not saying Jabari Parker is going to be that, but it's like, what's the reasoning? It's like Brad Stevens plans these rotations and just sticks to them. In one game, Aaron Nesmith didn't play them many minutes, so it's like next game he builds off that instead of realizing, okay, well, 2 games ago he actually played really well. What do we got here? Wongy says, remember the start of the season, JT was hitting game winners and crunch time threes in people's faces. He has it in him. He just doesn't it's a dormant trait. The killer instinct in Tatum. It's dormant. When it comes out, it's there. It's there, but it's not like Kobe was doing that stuff in the first quarter. You know what I mean? Like, that's different. Jason Tatum barely plays well in first quarters, it seems. So he doesn't the killer instinct comes out of him. He just doesn't have it constantly actively there. Moon says Bud Ice over Bud Light. I mean, look at this. This is what we handled in the watch party, right? And we got multiple different types of beers here. So we had a birthday weekend. It was my birthday last weekend. Shout out to you guys that tuned in and said happy birthday or said it on Twitter, whatever. Thank you for that. But we just pretty much had to find what we could find in the fridge. We're mixing and matching here. Steven, yeah, he yanked him when Romeo got healthy. You're right. So that was the reason. I guess I was missing the reason, right? But that was the reason. But it's a stupid reason. You don't have to, like, is a stupid reason. I'll say that. Ubi says Romeo back in some sort of protocol. And now the concussion protocol, I guess, if there's anything in today's day and age of sports you don't mess with, it's concussion protocol. I get it. I've had plenty of concussions back way back in high school football and then even basketball. Probably because, I was so good at shooting that the other team wanted to injure me. But it's like he's just not staying healthy. But also, Neesmith kind of, before Langford got injured, Neesmith took that leap and definitely got those minutes back. But, Romeo, I've been proven right about him. I've had to argue my side on this. It's like, do not anoint this guy as savior of the year yet. He hasn't done anything, and he still hasn't done anything. Soul saying, facts, Brad's rotations make no sense. And we not discovered it, but I brought it up on the Tommy Points podcast, which we should have an episode next week with me, Dante on Deck, and Color Sports. Great podcast. If you guys don't watch that, go watch it on YouTube. It's at Tommy Points on Twitter. We found out on the show that Brad Stevens uses more than any other coach, and some of you guys, if you watch that or have tuned in the streams before, you probably heard this before, he uses simulations more than any other coach to predict starting lineups and rotations. That's all well and good. That's a coach that maybe is ahead of his time, right? Whatever, relying on technology. But what it also tells me is that's a coach that's relying on something other than just watching the game in front of him and making decisions. Like, there's good and bad to reading into why the hell is this guy just like relying on rotations type of stuff? But is what it is, I guess. Steven says Romeo has a concussion, so he'll probably miss at least 3 games, but watch Brad still force him to play in the playoffs / last games that we need to win. It's gonna happen. It is like it's like a joke at this point, but it's so serious. His rotations are wonky. Wonky. Damn. Probably should mix in a water. Steven says Tatum has the killer instinct. He just plays with Brown and Kemba. Both are also ball dominant. It's true, but it's like, that makes it harder. But still, I don't know if I'm talking like, maybe Kobe's the wrong comparison. I'm not looking for like a ball hog killer instinct. I'm talking about a guy that just gets that sort of dead eye and has it constantly. Tatum, it comes out of him plenty, and we love to see that. And I think it will come out of him as he gets older. He's only 19. But like, he doesn't have the second quarter, like, this is a big shot feel. He gets that late game. Clutch shots are huge, and he loves to make those and take those. But I think he's still got a little ways to go in that. And that's just a maturity thing. Like, he's been in the league only a few years. He's obviously not going to want to kill other guys, like, with this metaphor. Matt saying Hawks up 11 on the Suns. Denver up 1. New York 28 and 28 and 7. 28 to 7. What does that mean? If they're up 1, 20, maybe not up 1. They're just up on. They're up on. I gotcha. There we go. I just had to do a little my due diligence. Gear says this is off topic, but Anderson Varejao is back. Why are we saying that? What's he up to? Moon says Brad. This is a good one. Perfect. Moon just hit the nail on that. Brad wants to clone Semi and play him at all 5 spots. It's like kind of true. Steven says Durant and Curry are in the league of their own. They can take over games in second and third quarters. Yeah, and maybe it's not fair to me to want, like, I'm not even saying Tatum should have that now, but there is a gap there. I love Tatum. You guys love Tatum. I'm not saying this to rag on Tatum, but there is a gap there in terms of, like, Tatum puts teams away all the time in the third quarter and the fourth quarter, which is awesome. That's what you want. But sometimes 2 names you just mentioned, Durant and Curry, they'll end a game with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. And that's sort of the, like, I don't care what time it is, screw you, let's go. But, you're naming 2 of the best in the league right now, so it's fair. Wangi, in all seriousness, Brad usually does minimal rotations in the playoffs. Do you think that could change this year? I feel like, does he use minimal? I feel like he doesn't use minimal rotations in the playoffs. Like, for some reason, I feel like he still goes like 12 deep. Am I wrong about that? Does he use minimal rotations in the playoffs? Because I just can't picture that. Oh, you just mean he's back. What team's Anderson Varejao on? Oh, Soul. This is perfect. That sound right there, Soul. I'm not a big Grant Williams. Like I've crowned that womp womp the Grant Williams womp womp. So you might be a lover of Grant Williams. You're not gonna like my take on him, but if you listen to me, you might understand it. Way back when Grant Williams was a rookie last year, before he even played, and this is all important to my take on Grant Williams. So turn the volume up. Way back then, when Grant Williams got drafted, everyone was like hearing what he said about, my mom works at NASA. Kyrie's wrong. I can't wait to play for a team with so much history. He said all the right things about Boston, about the Celtics, about guys that they didn't like, and he made every fan be like, oh my God, I love this guy. I love this guy. I love this guy. Before he even played a dribble's worth of basketball in green. Okay? Oh, so if you dislike Grant, you're going to love this because that's where we are. That womp womp is a Grant womp womp. The people in the chat will tell you too. I know we got a small, really, really small audience tonight, but usually this is a Grant Williams no-fly zone type of thing. But anyways, my take with Grant is that everyone put him on this pedestal before he even played. And I was in the minority, 2 years ago at this point saying, what are we doing? People are calling me an idiot for not liking the kid. He goes out and plays, really didn't impress me last year at all. But people are giving him gold stars. Put this one on your fridge. Gold star because he said a screen. A really good screen. Solid screen. Gold star. And I'm like, why does everyone love this guy? Show me something. Now this year, he's actually stunk. And people are finally starting to come over to this side of the boat and be like, whoa, what are we doing here? Why do we love? And I still believe if people didn't love him, no one would hate him. Like, if there wasn't this affection on this side, you wouldn't have... If he was always in the middle, no one really cared about Grant Williams. No one would hate what he's done now, but people loved him, so now they hate him. But it comes down to literally, like, everyone loved him, and I was always like, no, he legitimately... And I honestly believe this. I don't think Grant Williams fits into this team and can contribute to this team. Can he contribute on some nights? Sure. But I don't need a 4'6" big man running around acting like he's better than he is. I think there's better guys on this team and better guys out there in the league that can contribute. Could Grant Williams be good on Charlotte? Could he be good on the Magic? Sure. I'm not really doubting him as that player. He's been getting better at shooting and all that, which is great. But also, I don't think we drafted Grant Williams or play Grant Williams for the free ball. So I think that's like way too easy of but he shoots really well. I don't want Grant Williams shooting. So all in all, I do not like Grant Williams. I like when I will. How do I say it? I will tolerate him when he doesn't try to do too much, but when I see him shoot a three or try and dribble or do a stupid foul and complain to the refs, that's where I'm like, okay, it's also in his head that he's better than he is. And you know how I can prove that? Go on Cameo. You got guys like Jaylen Brown and Kemba Walker doing $50 cameos. I'm making those numbers up. But then you have like KG, Paul Pierce doing $100 cameos. Then you have Granny Williams doing $150 cameos. You don't tell me that's a guy that thinks he's better and more important than he is? Sheesh. I don't know. Soul says, I get mad looking at him on the court. Khan says, Neesmith is really talented, strong-minded, and great hustle, improving every game. Grant Williams is the 12th man. Grant Williams, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't get mad at Grant Williams again if there's no expectations. But people told me after preseason game 1, Grant Williams should start. Grant Williams should start. What are we talking about here? Grant Williams should start. Guys, make sure you do hit that subscribe button on YouTube and like this stream if you're watching there. If you're watching anywhere else on Twitch or Twitter or Periscope, be sure to head over to YouTube and subscribe over there. Pretty soon, that's where these streams are going to live exclusively, and I'm trying to build the audience over there, and I'm really, really proud of what we've done in just a few short months. So make sure to head over to YouTube. I tweeted out the link and subscribe there. Better chat features and everything like that, so it's definitely worth it. Steven saying, you're not wrong about the rotation. He uses 10 players. The question is, who will it be who he plays? He loves Semi in the playoffs and loves Grant in general. So after our 8 guys, we know who will play. I hope I'm wrong. That's the thing. And this rotation honestly should be. It should be, Kemba. I think Fournier should start, but whatever. Kemba, Smart, Brown, Tatum, and Robert Williams, right? Or whatever. Swap any of the possible starters with this next group out, and you still have that 5. And then you have Fournier, Tristan Thompson, and Peyton Pritchard. I think that's a really good 8-man rotation. Then Then you can have your fringe sort of, oh, do we need a 7-footer to play tonight? Cornet can be like the ninth guy. Do we need a 3'11", 412-pound big man in Grant Williams to roll around? We can play him as the ninth man tonight. I just don't want the staple of going 10 deep or 10 plus deep. Give me those 8-man rotations, and then I'll let Brad have his, oh, it's all matchup based. I'll let Brad have that. But give me a staple 8 and then go for it. Tiffy says Grant Williams is a sloppy player and he should not be and should be benched. Definitely should. Kawabena saying, hi, how's it going? Soul's agreeing. Steven says, Grant is a decent 10th, 12th, but Brad uses him as 7/8, and he cannot be that on a good team. That's a good way to put it. And, like, I always sound like I hate Grant more than I do. It's similar to my Semi take. Semi Ojeleye, if we weren't asking him, and now we haven't been, and we don't hate Semi anymore, right? If we're not asking these guys to be our 6th, 7th, 8th man, then no one really cares about them. Okay, they're good. Don't make a lot of money. Go in there and are nothing sometimes. Like, be our 10th, 11th, 12th man. No one will care about that. I don't have an issue with Grant Williams being on the team or Semi Ojeleye being on the team. I have an issue with Semi Ojeleye in playoff games playing 22 minutes. Grant Williams in playoff games playing 25 minutes. That's the issue. Moon says, who else misses Jalen's rookie hair? I'm going to pull that up. We got to get the flat top up for the people. Look at this. How does someone not go and miss this? Remember this, Jalen? I want to find this is it. This is the it's kind of small though, but the Jalen, the really clean cut, like he's got the beard growing here, but the clean cut flat top Jalen, loved it. Loved it. Now we got this Jalen who I don't mind. But look at how young this dude looks. Look at this guy. What? Does that look like the same guy to you guys? That looks like a different player to me. Wow. It does. Looks like a different player to me. Soul saying he really does love Semi. I don't understand it. Semi's had one impressive game this year. Steven saying those are my 8, but after that, who will Brad play? We know it's Grant and Semi. It should honestly be Jabari Parker should be thrown in there, and then Neesmith, maybe, right? That's who it should be. But it's gonna be Grant and Semi because they can do it all. Wong says, do we need Marcus to find shooting form before playoffs or hope he gets shots to other players? I think get shots to other players. Even tonight, 1 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, that's not going to kill you. It isn't. You know, Marcus Smart's not going to kill you with 6 shots taken. It's when he takes the 12 and 8 threes. That kills you. So I don't need him to take those shots in hopes he makes them. Find shots for other guys. Think about that. 8 more shots, that can be allocated to 4 to Tatum, 2 to Brown, 2 to Kemba. It's so easy to get rid of those shots. And all of a sudden, you probably have a better chance of making them. All right, just a few more comments, guys, before we start closing up shop tonight. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and like the stream if you have not already. Constance, the problem with Grant is he actually is an offensive liability, not only for himself, but he's an obstacle for his teammates to score. Yeah, 100%. Steven says, that's our 8, but something will happen, and Brad's going to throw Semi or Grant and Romeo in there, and I'll mentally prepare for it myself. Yeah, you should prepare. I should, too. Back when he played great defense, but he missed every free throw. Ubi says Marcus shooting over 10 shots per game is too much. That's it. And unless he's scorching, that's fair. Like, I think we can all agree, as much as we like to rag on Marcus Smart for shooting, if he goes out and goes 3-point make, 3-point make, 3-point make, we're fine with the 4th shot being taken. But if the 5th shot misses and the 6th shot misses, now you're looking at 3 straight makes, 3 straight makes and 3 straight misses. I needed the liquid talking juice. Excuse me. Now you're looking at a game where, okay, he was scorching, now he's not. That's when he should stop shooting. And I don't know. I don't know if I trust that Marcus Smart has that in his brain. Marcus Smart will make the first 3, miss the second 3, and still think, hey, I made my first 3. And that's the problem. Steven says he doesn't even make the wide open 3s anymore. That's what we need. And also, what are the Suns? What are we looking at for the Suns here? It's loading. Suns are, oh my God, what? Chalk that one away. 108 to 88. Chris Paul's got 21, minus 21, 9.6 assists. It looks like Devin Booker's literally the only guy, legitimately the only guy playing for the Suns tonight. That's too bad. That game, that's over. That ain't it. That sucks. Wongy says Grant's gonna lock up Giannis in the playoffs. Heard it here first. If it happens, I'll be happy. That's the thing. I don't hate Grant Williams enough. But I really don't hate Grant Williams enough to want him to, like, if he does play, to suck so I can shit on him, right? No, if he's gonna play and he performs, then give me that. Fine, I'll take that. I'm okay with that. But I just don't don't trust that he has that in him. Steven said, yeah, you did call it. When Chris Paul plays bad, they don't stand a chance. But it's also like, I mean, it's so weird because looking at the Suns, not to make this the Suns post-game show, but if you were to tell me that, like, Devin Booker would be the Robin to Chris Paul's Batman this year, I'd be like, no. Chris Paul's getting old, new team, whatever. Like, he's done. Devin Booker's a stud, right? The fact that Chris Paul's done that is so impressive. And you're right, though. Like, the season rides on him. Movie says, to be fair, they're on a back-to-back OT game, and they what was it? They went to OT, tied 114 last night, and won 134 to 118. They outscored Cleveland in overtime 20-4. That is fair, but it's also like, you don't have to get blown out by the Hawks, right? And they might be the best team on back-to-backs. Hey, Ubi, and Wong, you guys can be tied for who said it, okay? I'll give you guys that. Tiffany says, I think Neesmith should play over Grant. I 100% agree. 100% agree. You want to know why? Because you might as well play Neesmith, because if you don't play him, it's already a busted pick, right? Now, he's stepped it up a lot, which is good. But if you don't play Aaron Neesmith, you're pretty much saying, okay, you know what? This pick was a waste. Cut and dry. If you give him the chance to play, he can either make this pick worth it, like he's starting to do now, or if he sucks, then you know that the pick was a waste. But if you never give the kid a chance, then it's going to be a waste of a lottery pick. And Neesmith was a lottery pick, and Grant Williams was not. But, yeah, outside of that, guys, I think I'm going to start closing up. Good watch party, good stream tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in. I know we had a lower viewership, but at least I can keep up with the chat. It's more of a conversation. I'll take that. But I'll answer this one from Ubi real quick, and then I'll jump off here. What's your perfect playoff bracket on who you would want the Celtics to play? The perfect one would be the Celtics getting to that 5th seed and playing the Knicks or, say, the Hawks. I'd love that. I don't think it's going to be the case. So perfect right now is being that 6th seed and playing the Bucks. And again, like, don't ask me to go past the first round. With this Celtics team, like, I'm thinking first round, and then we'll cross that bridge when we get there for second round. You know what I mean? So get to the 6th seed, either hold that or move into the 5th seed. Can they move into the 5th? I don't really think so. If they do, that's awesome, because 4-5 is interchangeable for me. They play each other. I don't care about home court advantage much with COVID going on. But 7th seed is no bueno to me. I'd rather be the 8th seed, I think, than the 7th seed. But again, even being involved in the play, and I don't know how much I can trust this team. So give me the 6th seed at very worst. Let's see. Deshaun saying, what I missed, Celtics smoked the Magic. You did get on, Deshaun, as I'm literally about to close down the stream. But I thought I'd give you a shout out and answer your question anyways. But the Celtics smoked the Magic. Tatum and Kemba played well. And that's that. But guys, I will catch you in the next stream again. I think I'm going to have my buddy Kev, who is like, I mean, he's more of a personality than I am in terms of talking about this team and whatnot. He doesn't do it very often, but it should be a good stream. So be sure to tune in Friday, and we'll have him on here, hopefully, unless he, skimps out on me. But we'll catch you guys in the next stream, and hopefully we're talking about another win, because it's coming down to it. You know what I mean? Like, this is literally the season's here. Like, this is the season on the line. You want to go and be 7th, 8th seed and get bounced in round 1? Keep doing what you're doing, Celtics. You want to make a push and be 6th or possibly the 5th seed? Put your money where your mouth is and go do it. So hopefully we're talking about a win on Friday night. Maybe we'll have a couple more of these bad Larrys, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.